It's that time, y'all. Time for Big Boys Boxing.
If you think I'm a pussy, I'm a punk, you tell me right now. Because listen, I am the baddest man you ever fucking meet.
So that'll give a bit of energy.
Yeah.
It's good night. It is all over in the 11 crowd.
Check it out, y'all. Chuck something together for y'all heavyweight boxing fans. You will laugh either at me or at the song, so enjoy. I was heavyweight champ until I got high. I was gonna get that last belt too until I got high. Now I'm a big fat drunk, and I know why. Yeah, because I got high, because I got high, because I got high. They took 3 belts from me because I was high. I've been smoking lots of crack and weed, and yeah, I'm high. Now I got depression, and I know why. Yeah, because I'm high, because I'm high, because I'm high. I wanna come back to fight, I'm no longer high. I gotta lose all this extra weight from when I was high. I got this young new trainer and he's gonna try, yeah, to make me that guy who flies fucking high. I gotta try. Now Wilder wants to fight because I was high. I was a fat motherfucker too because I was high. He thinks I'll be easy work, and I know why. Yeah, because I was high, because I was high, because I was high. I outboxed the champ for 12 cause I wasn't high. I got up from the canvas twice cause I wasn't high. The judges called it a draw, and I know why. Yeah, because they were high to protect this guy fucking high. I need to tune up fights to make my name fly. When the rematch comes around, I'll knock out his lights. The first bum was simple, but the second guy, yeah, he busted my eye. I still won the fight, but he busted my eye. The rematch came around, and I can't lie. I couldn't leave it up to the judges in case they were high. I stopped the champ in 7, and you know why? Yeah, because I'm not high, because I'm not high, because I'm not high. I'm gonna stop singing the song because I'm not high. I've been singing it way too long without being high. Now my wife is calling me outside. Yeah, so I can get high. I'm gonna get high, so this is bye-bye. So yes, I know I can't sing, but I hope you enjoyed anyway, and best of luck to Tyson Fury in the trilogy match. What up, team? Welcome back to Big Boys Boxing. Yes, we back. My kids have gone to school. I am born free as the wind blows. I tell you, I love my kids. I love them to death. But what has it been, like 8 weeks? 24/7. Daddy, 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 daddy. Oh, mate, I'm over it. I'm gonna be a big advocate from now on for primary school teachers to get double the wages they get right now, man. Because holy McShit, being a teacher non-stop as well as a parent, it's hard. It's frustrating. I mean, I'm not the most patient guy in the world unless I'm fishing or watching a boxing match. So it was tough for me. I did have my missus around to help for 4 weeks, so that was good. But we've moved down to level 2 out of level 4, out of 4 levels here in New Zealand. All schools open today. The only thing still restricted, I think, are bars, hospitality businesses. Some of them aren't allowed open yet. Some of them are allowed to open at a later date. But it is what it is, you know. We're progressing. We've got cases of new confirmed cases in the very low single digits every day for some time now. Many days we've got zeros, so I am happy to be out of full lockdown, man. Big time. So a big hello to Phil Carl Roberts in the chat. We've got L Dog in the house as well. We have Ryland Smith as well. Good to have y'all in. It's been a while since I've been able to stream at this time. And yeah, I will open up the panel very shortly. There's no big fights on the horizon that I'm aware of at this stage. Most of the rest of the world is still in quite a lot of strife with COVID-19, so I did see an article just before I jumped on, Eddie Hearn talking about Kubrat Pulev and Anthony Joshua likely for September, November, and damn near impossible to be in the UK, so either somewhere that doesn't have the restrictions or somewhere that doesn't have as much problem as the UK with COVID-19 is realistic, but that it's months and months away. And you know, I did see last week Bob Arum was talking about Wilder Fury 3 possibly being as late as 2021. You know, so the big fights are going to be tough to stage behind closed doors with no crowds, hiking up pay-per-views to try and make revenue out of it. Of course, many of us will pay it because we are desperate to see some great fights. So it is what it is. But on a little bit of actual real news for you, check this out.
Hey guys, Dims McKean, the Terra here. Just regarding a possible fight with Joseph Parker and why I think it would be a better matchup, as well as for the fans. You know, I'm the only world-rated fighter coming out of Australia. I'm number 1 rated heavyweight in Australia at the moment, ahead of Lucas Brown. Yes, he's a number 1 pick for Joseph Parker at the moment. He's a former world champion, but I'm the one with the world ratings at the moment. I'm rated number 13 with the IBF and the WBO. Intercontinental champ, the IBF and WBO Asia Pacific champ as well. I'm a younger fighter. I'm fresher. I'm more active. I'm going to give more of a fight. I think stylistically, it's a good fight for me as well against Joseph Parker. He's a bit of a boxer as well. He's quite clean and crisp, and that's where I perform my best as well. You know, the better the boxer, the better I perform. So I do see it definitely a hard fight. You know, Joseph Parker is a hell of a competitor, former world champ as well. Only 2 losses to Dillian White and AJ as well, you know, so that's massive. But you know, I think his last few performances haven't been the best either, and against average competition. So I think I will give Joseph Parker a hell of a fight, and you know, by all means, I'm definitely in a winning chance there as well. I'm confident in my skills, you know, so. I'm hoping it falls through Lucas Brown and I get that call up as well. You know, I'm ready for that world stage shot. I'm keen, you know. And like I said, it's going to be a better fight for the fans. You know, I'm more liked in Australia than Lucas Brown. And like I said, I'm more of a competitor. You know, I'm 29 years old. I'm coming into the peak of my career, 18-0, 12 knockouts. Ready to step it up, and I'm ready to take on Joseph Parker if the call is made. So that's my take on it anyway, guys. Cheers.
Holy shit. I had the mic off the whole time. Holy shit. Holy shit. Now it works. Fuck, I've been ranting for ages. Ha ha! Motherfucker. Alright, y'all. I'll start that all over again. So, y'all heard the Dempsey McKean bit, I reckon, about fighting Joseph Parker. I was gonna talk a little bit about it, but maybe wait until we get some panel members on. Some other subjects I'd like to touch on today. Fuck, I missed a whole lot.
Yeah, what's up, Jono? How you doing, man?
What's up, L-Dog? How are you, brother?
Good, thanks, man. Keeping it well.
Yeah. I'm happy today, brother. I'm kidless for the first time in 7 weeks or some shit.
Ah, true, man. True.
I love
Feel
my
like
kids.
a free man.
Yeah. I'm born free. As free as the wind blows. It's fucking awesome. I love my kids, but it's good to have a bit of a break, I'll tell you, man. And I'm a big advocate for primary school teachers getting a massive pay rise too. Fuck. It is.
Oh, the shit they have to put up with, man.
Yeah. I've only got a 5 and a 7-year-old, mate, and you know, the shit maybe my patience aren't long enough or something, but the shit I gotta try and do to get him to do his work is unbelievable. And I don't know how the teachers deal with 30 of the little buggers doing the same shit.
Oh, shit. Tell me about it, man.
But yeah, since you're on, we might as well start on this Dempsey McKean call out. You think much of it, or you think it's just a cry for publicity?
I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm praying we get that Dempsey McKean fight over that Lucas Brown fight.
Yes, screw the walk and knockout. I don't want to see that.
But the guy lost to Dave Allen. Like, don't be fighting Dave Allen's leftovers, man. That's my thinking.
Damn
like,
right.
You'd be better fighting David Price.
Yeah, well, he beat Dave Allen, so there you go.
But I mean, Dempsey McKean, he's 19-0, tall southpaw, young. Might just be a good fight for Joe, especially if he wants to get that Usyk fight. You know, go against a southpaw. I mean, look, I would expect Joe to win, but probably Dempsey McKean. I would favor him to beat Flores, Leapai, and Shondell Winters, probably.
Yeah, quite possible. He's pretty raw, but like you say, he's a big dude, and big dudes can hit hard. He beat Jonathan Rice, only just, but Jonathan Rice is no absolute bum, so why not? And it seems New Zealand and Australia are going to have some kind of relationship because we're on similar playing fields with COVID-19, so it's a possibility we could get it. And they were talking about a fight for Joe in August, so if that happens, I'm happy. Better than nothing. And I don't think we're going to get any big fights for quite some time anyway. With I was looking at an article earlier from Eddie Hearn talking about Pulev and Joshua maybe in September, November, but highly unlikely to be in the UK. So
I mean, I'm not looking forward to that fight, to be honest with you, man. Like, I already know AJ is going to knock him out. I watched the Klitschko fight a couple days ago with Pulev, and man, like, he's getting slept, I think.
Yeah, I agree. It's not a great competitive fight, but it is a world title fight, I guess. We also looks like maybe we were going to have to wait till around the same time, or even 2021 for Fury versus Tyson. Fury versus Wilder 3 as well. So we're not looking like we're going to get any real good fights until something drastic happens with this COVID-19 clearing up. So it is what it is.
I mean, probably a bunch of tune-up fights, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but
look, the one thing I am excited about this Pulev fight is just get it over with, because that's one step closer to undisputed.
For sure. Now, there's been a lot of news coming out about Wilder would want 10 million to step aside, and Fury saying, I'm not giving him a cent, I'll knock him out. There's also the point of Pulev would have to take step aside money if the undisputed fight was to happen, but for me, even if it did get signed, I still don't think it would be for undisputed. As the WBO have said, the IBF can go first and we have to be next. If the IBF doesn't go first, then the WBO are going to strip their belt, aren't they? So,
Yeah. I mean, that's the problem, man. Can we just get these sanctioning bodies to put aside their differences and just give us what we want, which is undisputed?
yeah, well,
No.
we'll make the same mandatory somehow.
Yeah.
Because having these 4 belts is making it really tough, but the politics is making it even tougher. So that's
Yeah.
It's rough.
Can be hard to be a boxing fan sometimes, and the politics always getting in the way of the good fights, you know?
Indeed. There are a lot of good fights I've been watching, and a big shout out to Phil Carl Roberts in the chat too. He's been dropping a lot of links in the Discord server for us fans to review some old fights. But you may notice in the corner of the stream window there, I've got Fight Night Champion picture in there. I've just picked up this game for the first time. It's an old game from 2012, but I'm learning my way around it, and I'm about to build myself a player, and maybe some of y'all out there who play the game would like to get it on sometime. Do you play the game, L-Dog?
Nah, I haven't got it, man, but I want to get like a... Can you download it on Xbox or like PlayStation?
You can download it on Xbox.
Okay.
If you haven't got Xbox Live Gold membership, they charge like $60 or $70. But if you got the Gold membership, which you need to play online anyway, the game gets a hell of a lot cheaper. So I think it's like $15 or $20 or something to download. So it's easy to download, and it's a pretty cool game. It takes a while to get the hang of all the buttons. There's a lot of buttons, a lot of punches that you gotta figure out and shit. But I've been awake for 24 hours and I've got a blister on my thumb, you know how it goes.
They need to make a new one, man, like Eddie Hearn's asking for.
Yeah, well, I did see a picture. There's a Fight Night Champion 2 picture I saw. I'd never seen the game around, but they do need some new ones, eh? This one, it's got a few of the good classic fighters in there as well, and you can build your own. I haven't built my own yet, but I'm gonna build me a fucking monster.
Yeah, man.
Fuck yeah. So,
Hey, so did the Junior Far fight fall through?
I think they pretty much resorted to the fact that Junior Far doesn't really want 33%. He wants $1 million. And he ain't going to get that. Not for a fight down here in New Zealand. I mean, Joe only got just over $1 million for fighting Ruiz for a world title, for God's sake. So, I think Junior's dreaming there. If he just wanted a flat 33%, yeah, fine, because I think at this point in time, Joe would probably fight for $500,000. That leaves a pretty small purse for Junior at 33%, doesn't it?
Do you think Junior Far would beat Dempsey McKean, though?
You know what? I think that's a pretty damn competitive fight. Honestly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they can't make that Junior Far fight, then I think the Dempsey McKean fight... Like, I'm praying that Juco make that fight, because look, I'd watch that fight. I'll be honest, I'll watch anything now, but if they put pay-per-view on Parker versus Brown, I mean,
they would.
To the real boxing fans, it's a slap in the face, because we know Brown is just completely shot, you know.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. The guy, he's a journeyman now, and he's a journeyman with a bad chin.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a competitive fight for Dempsey McKean. Maybe Tom Schwartz.
Yeah.
But Tom Schwartz might even beat the shit out of him, you know?
I wouldn't go that far. Tom Schwartz was making fucking Fury look like George Foreman.
Yeah. And he hadn't really fought anybody prior to Tyson Fury, so it was hard to get a gauge on Tom Schwartz.
Yeah. Hey, I'll be right back. I just got to take a phone call real quick.
Oh, good, bros. Yeah, so kind of fingers crossed that we might get this Dempsey McKean versus Joseph Parker fight. I couldn't care whether it's in Australia or New Zealand. It's a pretty similar time frame. I think it's 2 hours difference from New Zealand, 2 hours behind to the east coast of Aussie, and 4 hours to Perth on the west coast. So if it was at 10 o'clock at night, it won't be in Perth. I don't think it'll either be in Melbourne, Sydney or Brisbane. So that's east coast, so only be a couple of hours behind. Could make for a good evening of viewing. Whether they'd get a crowd in there or not, I'm not so sure at this stage. Over here, we're not allowed gatherings of more than 10 people in our lockdown level 2 that we're in. Still trying to observe social distancing and whatnot, but I did watch that UFC event it was last week or the week before, can't remember, and that had no crowd, and it was quite interesting, you know, you were able to hear everything that the coaches were saying in the corners. There's no crowd to influence judges, and it's interesting. So I haven't seen a boxing match without a crowd yet. How it would go, we're gonna find out, because there is, what is it, Marius Wok versus someone, can't remember who it was. Marius Wok versus someone on the 12th of June in Poland. Oh, was it Kevin Johnson? It was. Yeah. So,
I'm back, man. It's fucking scammers calling me up again.
ooh, you've been signing up to too much porn, brother.
Hey, man, this lockdown went on longer than I anticipated, bro.
Gotta do what you gotta do, eh?
Yeah. So what's this about Kevin Johnson and Marius Wok?
Yeah, 12th of June in Poland. No
Bro, I
crowd.
was saying about this fight, man. Instead of, you know how the promoters say someone's getting knocked out, they should say someone's not getting knocked out, because both of these guys got fucking granite chins.
Yeah. I don't think there's much chance. I think there's less chance of Marius Wok getting knocked out because Kevin Johnson doesn't throw fucking punches.
Yeah.
But and Marius Wok didn't look actually that bad in his last fight against Dillian White. Whether that was due to Dillian's condition and mental state at the time, I don't, you can argue that point, but he looked alright for an old concrete chin giant at the time.
He looked better than what we thought he would.
He did. Yeah,
I thought he'd get knocked out.
So did I. Yeah.
I thought one of those white left hooks maybe to the body or something.
Yeah, for sure. So credit to Marius Wok for that effort against White, for sure. But I think they should have tried to get a better opponent for him. They could have tried to get Adam Kovnarski. He's coming off a loss.
Yeah, I mean, shit, that's in Poland. They'll probably do big numbers over there.
Exactly. And it'd give Kovnarski a chance to get a few rounds and get a bit of conditioning in, because I'm pretty sure he would not walk over very quickly if he did knock him over. So, it is what it is, though. Pay-per-view, I won't be paying for that one.
Oh, fuck that.
But I think most of the fights that we're going to get with no crowd are going to end up freaking pay-per-view anyway. To try and pay the fighters somehow. Otherwise, how else are they going to get paid?
Yeah, I mean... Well, I'll pay for it if there are actually some decent fights on there, man. But, like, I'll say... if they had, I don't know, like, Kubrat Pulev, AJ, they put something on the undercard, like I don't know, Filip Pergovic, on the undercard fighting someone, Majidov fighting someone, whatever, I'd pay for that, because, I mean, at least we're getting a world title fight and some prospects on the undercard, have a look at how they do.
Yeah.
As far as the fights, like, Parker, Brown, nah, I don't think I'll be paying for that one, man.
Parker Brown I wouldn't pay for. I might think about paying for Farr versus McKean if that happened and the card was half decent. They could throw Hemi on the card there as well, hopefully.
Man, I want to see more of Hemi. He's a fun fighter to watch, man.
Who would be a good opponent from down this way for Hemi? Would you think maybe even Alex Leopold work okay for a Hemiahio opponent.
That might actually be a good step up. Because I mean I think Leapai he's shot, and I think Hemi can beat him now, man. Because I mean Leapai ain't taller than Hemi, is he? They're like the same height.
They probably are about the same. Maybe
Yeah, it
Leapai's
says here
slightly
Leapai 6 foot.
Okay, there you go. Well, I guess we could either think about Leapai or even Solomon Himono might be a bit more of a challenge than Leapai since he's pretty well shot. But
Yeah.
Himono's not much better either, though, is he really?
Yeah, I guess the big news, or not the big news, but one of the good news for New Zealand boxing is David Naika qualified to the Olympics.
Yeah, boy.
I like David Naika, man. I think he's got a good style in the amateurs.
Yeah, I don't know
Not
if I
sure
want to
how
see him
he'll
in
do
the
as a
pros,
pro.
eh?
Yeah, not sure if he'll make a good pro, but as an amateur, like he beat the world championship bronze medalist, so he's right up there, man. When it comes to these amateurs, I hope he, one more year, he might be in his physical prime. He'll be ready. Tokyo 2021.
Yeah.
I'm gonna support him, of course. I think he got a good chance, man. Like,
Yeah.
I hope he gets the sparring he needs. Like, probably Joseph Parker. He can spar Parker, maybe. I don't know if they've sparred in the past, but
They have.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's a good fighter, man, in the amateurs.
Yeah, for sure. He didn't really have too much competition. Well, nobody that really pushed him too hard in the Commonwealth Games. I thought he won every fight in that pretty straightforward and easy. But the Olympics is a different story. I assume he's going to stay at 91 kilos?
Yeah, it's heavyweight, and
Yeah.
there's super heavyweight's the one above.
Yeah,
It's basically cruiserweight.
yeah. But yeah, he's definitely an entertaining fighter as an amateur. He's achieved great things, but he's been staying there for quite some time, hasn't he? And like you pointed out with the style, I think we know why.
He's very physically gifted. Like he's very athletic. He's tall for the weight, got good reflexes. But I just think in the pros, he might come against one of those guys who are just very seasoned and tough and push you non-stop for 12 rounds. And I mean, it's easier to avoid punches for 3 rounds than it is 12.
Yeah, and the volume he puts out too. There's no way he could go 12 rounds putting that volume out.
Yeah.
And I kind of have some questions over how much power he has. Because he puts out so much volume. A guy in the pros could soak some of that up with a good high guard and just throw meaningful punches when they got the opportunities in the second half of the fight, and I think you end up getting knocked out.
So I'm saying, man, some of these seasoned veterans who they know how to survive, they know how to push their opponent, things like that.
Bit better than a Kevin Johnson, maybe a Kevin Johnson of old, those sort of guys. Yeah. But all goods. Justice Huni's another one from down this way too, eh?
Oh, I am hyped for Justice Huni, man. I like that guy. Have you seen his amateur fights?
No, I haven't seen his amateur fights.
Oh, I'm gonna send some over on the Discord later, man. Really, he's still very young, but you can tell the talent is there. He's got very good hand speed. He reminds me of Joseph Parker in many ways. Just I mean, both from down under, but good hand speed, good punch placement, but a little bit inactive at times.
Yeah,
Like he just doesn't let his hands go.
Yeah.
But the talent is there, man. The talent is there, and if he has that, that chin that the Islander fighters usually have, then he's going to be a real threat, man.
Yeah, for sure. Just looking at a comment here. What's my thoughts on the top 5 inside fighters in the heavyweight division? Inside fighters. Hemiahio. He's the man. I'm going to say that every stream from now on for a while until I see him fight. He's my favourite fighter at the moment. For those of y'all who don't know, he's only a 6-foot heavyweight. But he's all action, man. He's all action and he hits hard.
He's a fan-friendly fighter.
Yeah, man. Yeah. He's like a mini Mike Tyson. He's
Yeah.
actually taller than Mike Tyson, but in today's era, he's still a mini Mike Tyson. Inside
Yeah, that's
fighters.
weird how we say he's a mini Mike Tyson, but he's actually taller than Mike was.
Yeah, only an inch.
But I suppose Mike was just so bulky and muscular, you know?
And he fought where most of the heavyweights were slightly smaller than what they are today. I mean, there was the odd guy at 6'6", and you had the freaks of nature like Nikolai Valuev and all them guys, but they weren't elite.
Yeah.
You know, there's a 6'9" world champion at the moment who can box with speed. You just didn't see that in Mike Tyson's era. So it is what it is. But other top inside fighters, the top 5 inside fighters in the heavyweight division at the moment, I wasn't really meaning him here. He is one of the top inside fighters.
Andy Ruiz, I think, might be the best.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. The best. You got to have Povetkin up in there as well, even though he's 40-ish.
Yeah.
And-
Chisora?
Yeah, Chisora would be up in there as well.
I was going to say Kovnatsky, but I mean,
Yeah.
like, I don't know, man. He's just volume, I think. I don't see like the crafty inside fighting that I see from even like a Chisora. He knows he knows the dirty tricks of the trade of how to get in there and rough you up, you know. I don't see that from Adam.
No, it seems like from Adam, he just throws and throws and throws. And then if he realizes, oh shit, you're out of my reach, I'll take a step forward and then I'll just start throwing again. There's guys like
Yeah.
Derek will wait until they get hit and then wait for their opportunity when they get countered. They don't just throw willy-nilly like Kovnatsky seems to do. But he might have learned a bit of a lesson after the Nordic Nightmare put him down a couple of times. So we'll see what happens with Adam Kovnatsky. He might end up fighting Izu Yagano if he isn't fully retired. Get his confidence back.
Man, I thought Izu was going to be good, man.
I don't know what happened to that dude, man. I mean, we dog Kevin Barry about his coaching.
That was not Kevin Barry's fault, that one, man. I don't know what it is. Like, something just happened to him, man. Like, I think that Brazil fight just took everything out of him.
Well, he still had another fight after that. He made Fred Cassie quit in, 2 rounds? Or 1 round, you know. So, and he looked okay when he was boxing in that, but that fight, who did he fight? What was his name? That Polish guy.
Lucas Rozansky.
That's it, Lucas Rozansky. He just looked like he didn't want to be there. His jab was lazy. He had his chin up in the air. He wasn't bouncing on his toes like he used to. And he wasn't throwing those wicked body shots that he used to throw either. So, I don't know what happened to the dude, man. Someone stole his nuts or something. Poor guy.
Yeah, man.
But,
He was never the same.
no. Yeah, but it still makes me think, was Kevin Barry good for him?
I mean, I think so, because just being in that camp, he was able to spar with Joseph Parker, you know? Go to Vegas, get that sparring. Maybe he wasn't going to Vegas anymore, he's just staying in Poland, and you got to question what kind of sparring he can get in Poland compared to Vegas, where, you know, you can get all the good American fighters, you know, Joseph Parker's over there, etc.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of foreign fighters that are already there sparring anyway as well, so they can move between camps as well. It's like the place where you can get close to the best sparring in the world, you'd think. So, yeah, who knows what happened to Izu, but I dare say we're not going to see him in the ring, at least on television, ever again. He might end up going back to kickboxing. Who knows? But all goods. Adam Fahey's in the chat as well. If he spoke, okay.
Yeah, if he's that was supposed to be his coming out fight, like the fight against Brazil. If he won that fight, I'm pretty sure they were gonna try and give him the the typical PBC path to a Wilder fight.
Had he signed to PBC as well?
What happens a lot of the time, I was reading that they have someone who's not PBC or not like with a big promotional company fight the guy who is with one, and if he wins, he gets the contract or something like that.
Mm. And Brazil's very next fight was Eric Molina in a final eliminator, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, fucking hell, Agono would have beat Molina. I mean, Molina's garbage.
Yeah. So, well, if one of those big shots had have kept Brazil down, or Izu didn't run out of gas, we could have seen Izu versus Wilder. And man, based on that last performance of Izu, that could have been a hell of a disaster.
Yeah, maybe it's a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, I think so, bro. I think so. It is what it is. Alright, any other subjects you'd like to bring up to talk about right now?
Yeah,
Alcohol.
just see Joe Joyce is talking about having an interim fight in between the Dubois one. Man, that's got me worried because I was hoping we'd see the Joyce Dubois fight, but if they're both going to have a tune-up fight, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, it makes me worried the actual fight won't happen.
Yeah, I kind of thought that might happen because Frank Warren needs gate money. There's no way in hell I can see Frank Warren putting on a pay-per-view event with no crowd with his two top fighters. Because,
Yeah.
he's already £6 million in the hole. Oh, fuck's sake, who's this? I'm going to have to take this. I'll be back in a sec. You can have a yarn to the chat, bro.
Yeah, so, sup guys? Jono's gone. Our dog here. Who did you guys have in the fight? Joe Joyce or Daniel Dubois? Let me know in the chat. Me personally, I had Joe Joyce beating Dubois. Initially, I thought Dubois was going to knock Joyce out, but then I watched some of Joyce's fights, some of Dubois' fights back. I actually think Joe Joyce is better than what people give him credit for, man. He's slow, but he's got very good punch technique. He's got a good amateur background. He's bigger than Dubois. He's tough. I think he's going to outwork Dubois, and I think Dubois is too basic for him, man. I think Dubois is going to step in with the jab too much, and Joyce is going to throw that right hand over the jab, and he's going to hurt him, man. I think Dubois, man, I got Joyce stopping him inside 8 rounds. I think the fight is going to be a bit of a mismatch.
Sorry about that, T.
I was just saying, man, I think Joyce is going to knock Dubois out. I think he's going to stop him.
Ooh. Yeah, I think it goes either Dubois in the first 6 or Joyce in the later rounds. I think someone's going to get stopped one way or another. If it goes the distance, well, I'm fucking wrong.
Agree with Adam Fahey. Joyce work rate stops Triple D mid to late. Look, the one thing about Dubois I noticed when I was watching some of his fights is he just steps in with the jab too much. Every time, step in with the jab, step in with the jab. I think a seasoned guy like Joyce, who's, he's got a good amateur background, I think he's going to throw that overhand right over the jab. He's going to catch Dubois with that.
Quite possibly. I don't rate his jab much though. Is his jab going to be enough to stop Dubois throwing his right over Joyce's jab? So...
yeah.
It's an interesting one, man. It's real interesting, and I think it's the right fight definitely for Dubois, for sure. And he's got a pretty high rating, so I guess it's the right fight for Joyce as well. It's one of the fights that really needed to happen, and are we going to get it this year? I don't know.
Yeah,
man. that could be a spanner in the works with those tune-ups you were talking about. Depends who it's gonna be, though, I guess.
Radiant Smith says, I think Joyce and Daniel Dubois would both be White, Aldog. Look, I'm not going to say Joyce beats Dillian White. I think Joyce would try and fight him too much and he'll get clipped with a left hook. And I've seen Joyce knocked out in the amateurs by a left hook. I think it was against Kuzman.
Yep.
But I think Daniel Dubois, I think he might have a better chance against Dillian White, to be honest. But like, styles make fights, man. You know, I think Joyce beats Dubois, but I think Joyce loses to White, and Dubois might actually beat Dillian White.
Yeah, it's a vicious triangle, man, and I tend to agree. A volume fighter could possibly make Dillian gas if he's not in top shape, but if he's in really good shape, I don't think volume's going to bother Dillian unless it's got huge power behind it. And most guys who throw a lot of punches don't have really heavy hands. I mean, Joyce has got thudding punches. You know, he hits like a mule, but they're not sharp, crisp power punches like Daniel Dubois. He's more economical, but he hits harder, in my opinion, and he has a better variety of punches. So, yeah, it's definitely an awesome triangle. But I dare say Dillian ain't going to go near any of those guys unless he's ordered to.
Well, Dillian's in a bit of trouble because after he fights Povetkin, he's going to have to fight someone in the top 15 of the WBC. Now, you look at who DAZN has in the top 15 at WBC. It's Joseph Parker, Philip Hrgović, and Michael Hunter. Now, all three of those are very good fights. And I think, you know, I don't expect White to fight Parker because, well, look, let me just say, I mean, we all saw, like, what happened in that fight. I mean, it was a great fight. It was a tough fight. But I'm going to just say it, man. I'm sorry to all the UK brothers out there, but I thought Parker was getting a bit of a harsh treatment.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what? Dillian White seems to be making lots of excuses to not fight Parker again, even though just about everybody I've spoken to who watched that fight would love to see it again.
Fuck, it was a war, man. I want to see it again. You know, that's the one thing I like about White. He comes to fight, man. He digs deep. But look, if he doesn't want to fight Parker, he's got to fight Hrgović or Hunter. And my idea was DAZN should do this. They should put Hrgović versus Hunter on the Povetkin versus White undercard. The winner gets to fight White.
That works.
I think, like, listen, I think everyone knows I'm a big Hrgović fan. I think he's gonna I think he'll knock Hunter out, and I think he'll knock Dillian White out, man. I think
Usyk's also in there. He's number 2 in the WBC.
I mean, he's gonna get a title shot.
Yeah. So he'll either go up or down.
So, like, the fights I'd like to see, man, I want to see that little tournament I said, you know, Hrgović Hunter, winner fights, winner of White Povetkin. And then I'll say Parker should fight the winner of Chisora Usyk for the WBO, and then the winners fight each other for that WBO, you know? Little tournament, maybe. That would be fucking awesome.
Yeah. If we could get that done in the last 3 or 4 months of the year, that'd be fucking awesome. Have the final for Christmas. That'd be shit hot. But
yeah,
you know, dreams are free.
People are sleeping on Parker, man. I see people saying you know, Hrgović, Dubois could beat Parker. Hell no, I disagree, man. I'm a big fan of Hrgović, but I think Parker will beat him, man. I think Parker, people are writing him off. Look, true, he hasn't been fighting the best opposition lately, but we all know he can fight better than the opposition he's fighting.
Yeah.
He just needs to be given the opportunity.
Yeah, well, there's a reason why he can't get high-level fights at the moment. You know, he hasn't got anything to offer anybody else. That's the only reason he's not getting the good fights, and nobody wants to take a fight against him because he's high risk. He might outbox you. He might expose people who aren't that great, or could possibly not be that great. So he's a bit of a banana skin fighter at the moment.
They want to talk about Luis Ortiz being the boogeyman. Joseph Parker is more of a boogeyman than Ortiz. Like right now, I
Yeah.
mean, Parker more dangerous than Ortiz in my opinion. He's younger, he's bigger, he's fresher. I think he's better too, man. Be honest with you.
I think Parker could beat Ortiz, but in saying that, we've seen him have a bit of trouble with southpaws in the past. But I think Ortiz is on the slide. It has been for a while. He's getting slower and slower. Power's last to go though, so there's always the possibility that he could beat Parker. But yeah, I think he's more of a
Nah,
boogeyman.
I disagree, man. Parker got a good chin.
He does. He does.
So
have
I
a good
think
chin.
Parker's chin, his youth could absorb Luis Ortiz's power, especially if he's he's got to be on the decline after that knockout loss again.
Yeah. And there's also the point, Joseph Parker's actually pretty elusive, so if you're not very quick, he's hard to hit.
Yeah, I agree with what Marla's saying. I think Raphael Dawkins, shout out to Raphael, he said nothing in it for White to fight Parker again, and Marla says he keeps talking about how he kicked Parker's ass and he would do it again. Well, if that's the case, run up or stop talking. I agree, man.
Nothing in
Hey.
it for White. Hang on a minute. Prior,
But Maris
pri-
Wack had so much to offer, eh?
yeah, prior to fighting Joseph Parker and obtaining, Joseph Parker, the first fight, what was there to offer for that fight? For Dillian? Nothing. It was just a money fight, right? And Parker's signed with DAZN. He's a money fighter. He's getting $2 million a fight. So there's a money fight there for Dillian once again. And it's a fight everybody who watched it wants to see. Now, I do understand Dillian has a mandatory position. It's like when Dillian was trying to call out Joseph when Joseph had the WBO belt. Now Dillian says, he didn't want to fight me. Instead of fighting Dillian, Joseph went and fought Anthony Joshua. Doesn't that make sense? It's not trying to duck Dillian White. He's taking a unification fight over a fight that offers Joseph nothing. So the same situation is pretty much reversed now. It's a fight I think will happen down the track, but not until Dillian loses.
It has to, man. Like at the end of the day, I'm a boxing fan. I want to see the best fights happen, and that was a hell of a fight, man. What they could do is they could show the replay of that fight on Sky, like in the UK, and people would watch that fight and remember what a great fight it is, and they'd think, damn, I want to see this fight, These guys are fighting for the shot to fight, a Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua. Both of these guys are, young, good heavyweights. Like, it makes sense to me, man. Like, I want to see it.
Any fight that you watch that's competitive and both guys get up off the canvas, you want to see it again.
But also the thing is, what's in it for White? Well, Dillian White has to fight a top 15 WBC guy. You look at the guys who are with DAZN, and that's all. I mean, it's Parker, Hrgovic, Hunter. The easiest of the bunch is probably Hunter. Hrgovic is even less to offer than Parker, but I mean, he's just as dangerous probably.
Yeah.
And then you've got Parker. I mean, shit, I'll probably just go with Parker or Hunter, either one.
Yeah, I don't know which to pick would be the harder to beat. Hunter seems to have a pretty good chin, but I guess you could say Usyk did a pretty good job of beating him. It was a competitive fight to a degree, but it wasn't
That fight should have been stopped in the end, though.
at the end, yeah.
And I think Dillian White, if he lands a left hook on Hunter, I know Hunter's got a good chin, but Usyk was able to hurt him badly. I think one of these bigger heavyweights can knock him out, man.
Yeah, Usyk's pretty quick though, so he can get to Hunter. These bigger heavyweights that hit harder aren't quite as quick, so can they still hit Hunter? Because he's a little bit elusive.
I think so because Hunter gasses. That's one of his big problems. He gasses out and he starts to clinch. One of these guys is going to catch him. Like, he's very hard to... He'll beat you the first couple of rounds with his movement, his boxing skills, but when he gasses out and his stamina fades, I think that's when he starts to get opened up, and one of these big guys is just going to land on him.
Yeah, well, I think if he tries to start fast like he did against Povetkin, then he's putting himself in unnecessary danger. When he starts slower and tries to be a bit more technical, he seems to have a better time of it. But I think he was trying to make a statement against Povetkin, and I thought Povetkin...
That's what it was, man.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, you know, I can punch, I can hang with the big boys too, you know?
Yeah. This guy's 40. He can't punch for long, so I can just punch myself out and he'll be gone. But no.
Yeah.
Did you score that fight? Who did you have winning that one? Hunter versus Povetkin.
I had it a draw, man.
You did have it an actual
I
draw, okay?
need to watch it again, but like from memory, I was just kind of watching, and I thought a draw was a fair call because it was a close fight.
Yeah. I wasn't screaming robbery or anything either. I was disappointed that they didn't order it to be run back again straight away, since it was supposed to be an eliminator anyway.
That's why I'd like to see the little tournament happen, you know?
Yeah.
Povetkin fights White, Hunter fights Hrgovic, winners fight each other, you know? It's a way that those two can somewhat get back at each other if they win, but it's also, you know, hey, I beat the guy who beat you kind of thing.
Yeah. Hey, if anybody else wants to join, there is a link pinned to the top of the chat up there. Probably got about 20 minutes before I call it quits, so I'm sure Rafi would have some points he would like to give us as to why Dillian shouldn't fight Parker after he fights Povetkin, because I don't think Dillian's going to get a shot till damn near 2022 now with this COVID situation. So
can he make it to 2022 without getting beat by one of these young up and comers though? I don't think so, man.
Well, the way he's talking, he's not going to fight any of these young up and comers.
He has to though. Top 15 WBC, you know, he's going to have to fight one of them.
Well, that's right. He's not just a mandatory, is he? He's the interim champion.
Yes, that's the big problem, man. I was hearing someone, I think it was Unrivaled, shout out to him. He was talking about this, and I was thinking, damn, like, I respect Dillian, he's grinded his way up, but can he really make it that long without having to fight a Parker or a Hrgovic or someone like that? And can he actually, you know, that's a murderer's row right there almost.
Well, he could start at the bottom of the top 15. There's Ajit Kabiel, there's Efer Jugba, there's Charles Martin.
But they're not DAZN.
No, they're not DAZN. But he may have to go somewhere else if they're not going to let fights go ahead in the UK. Mind you, I guess that means the airports and shit are closed too, aren't they? So you can't really go anywhere either. Maybe he needs to start playing Fight Night Champion and beat up someone.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a few to pick from there, but they're not DAZN like L-Dog says, so it would be hard to make them happen. Shit, Derek Chisora, Dillian White 3. It could be a possibility even. Charles Martin.
Oh, but since these White fans, they don't want him to run it back with Parker, why would they want him to run it back with Chisora?
Exactly. Oh, but it was a great fight. So was Parker and White, but I don't know, man. Joe Joyce, no. Michael, yeah, it's got to be.
Ooh, that was another big news I was going to mention. Andy Ruiz is now working with the Reynosos.
Yes, Eddie Reynoso. I kind of dropped a video on that when it wasn't actually confirmed, just when they were talking about that. I hope that Eddie's going to be able to get Ruiz into the right frame of mind, and maybe having Canelo there, possibly even to spar with at times, because they're not that far different in size, just in weight.
It's a little technical sparring, I guess, you know, a little take it easy, but work on some technique and that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I think it's a matter of getting Andy to the gym, be there at such and such a time. If you're not there, don't bother fucking turning up and don't come back. But I guess,
Yeah.
Andy's had his fat slob, got his big $30 million payday just for turning up. Now he's actually got to fight properly and train properly if he wants to get back to the top. So
Does he want to though? He's already rich. He made seven and a half in that first fight. Shit, he made $20.5 million last year. Like, he's probably just, I don't think we'll ever see him motivated again, man. That's the thing.
well, I'm sure Eddie Reynoso is going to have some conditions. Like I was saying, if you're not,
Well, he don't need the money, that's for sure. So
So he's got to show commitment, or Eddie's not going to bother with him. Well, that would be my frame of mind anyway. But I do want to see Andy succeed. I want to see him get down to... Shit, imagine seeing him at about 220 pounds. Imagine...
that's what I'm thinking, man. Like Povetkin kind of comes in around that weight.
Yeah, and he's faster than Povetkin if he can get his feet moving because they're not big lumps of concrete anymore. He could be quite an entertaining fighter. I mean, he's pretty entertaining as it is, but if he can't get to his opponent and they just jab his head off all night, well, yeah, it's boring to watch.
Man, that was a disgrace, the kind of condition he came into that fight in.
280 pounds when you're 6'1". That's
He ain't even 6'1" though, that's the thing. Like, did you see him when he came down to New Zealand?
yeah.
He ain't no 6'1", man. He's 6 foot flat, probably.
Pretty close to it. I remember Kevin Barry was saying because he's listed at 6'2", isn't he, or something like that on boxing.
Oh nah, bro, he ain't 6'2".
Yeah, I thought he's at least an inch shorter than that, so yeah, he's probably 2. But Kevin Barry was saying he's more like 6 foot. So, yeah. All right. The other thing I wanted to talk about was Mike Tyson coming back. Who do you want to see him fight in an exhibition match?
Probably Evander Holyfield, man, but I wouldn't mind seeing him beat up Sonny Bill either.
You don't like the idea of not Peter Fury, John Fury?
I mean, Big John Fury, he sounds like he's a tough guy, and I know what he did, but I mean, Tyson will beat him up, man.
There are a couple of his fights available on YouTube. There's the one where he gets knocked out with Henry I can never say his name. Henry Akinlade, is it?
I'm not sure, man.
That's on YouTube. And I thought John Fury might have, some foot movement skills like his son, but man, he's unco. I'm sure he's a mean motherfucker on the street, but in a boxing ring, he doesn't look like a boxer. So I don't really want to see him in there with Mike Tyson. And to be honest, I don't really want to see a third version of Holyfield Tyson either. We've seen that one twice.
Well, that's the thing. Like, Marla brings up a great point. He says, I don't want to see Tyson Holyfield. I think Holyfield will have aged more. That's a great point because, look, even though it's an exhibition, we all know these dumbass casuals are going to be like, oh, see? Mike Tyson could beat Evander Holyfield. Like, man.
Exactly. One I wouldn't mind seeing would be one we never got to see that everybody wanted to see. And it's only an exhibition, so it's not like they're going to try and kill each other. But David Tua versus Mike Tyson.
Bro, David Tua's fat as hell these days, though.
He is.
Like, could he get down to that weight?
I've been bombing Facebook pages, David Tua's Facebook pages, say get in shape, get in some kind of shape, just in case you get a call. But yeah, that's just one I always wanted to see back then, and if David could lose probably at least 100 pounds in 3 months, yeah, I saw him at an event. Was it a Shane Cameron fight night a while back? And yeah, he's pretty big. He'd be pushing 400 pounds like Tyson Fury was. And remember, David Tua is only 5'9".
Yeah. Hey man, Tua versus Tyson in their primes, man. Oh, that would have been a great fight because Tua got a chin, man. He got a chin, but he can also crack. Now Mike Tyson, he's got a chin too, but it's not as good as Tua's. So I mean, oh, that would have been a great fight.
Yeah, I think Tyson's got more power spread between both hands. Tua's got more on his left. He still can bang with his right, but like you say, I think the chins even it out. I think he's got a better chin than Mike. I still probably would have picked Mike in their primes, but I still would have been jumping up and down screaming at David on the TV.
Yeah. I'll tell you what might not be a bad fight, actually. Mike Tyson versus Lucas Brown or Dave Allen.
Dave Allen, I like that one. I like that
Do you
one.
reckon Mike Tyson could beat Lucas Brown? I actually think he could.
Yeah, I think he could beat him right now.
Yeah, same. I think he's got more than enough power to fucking spark him out.
Yeah. Probably with a body shot again.
Yeah, bro. I mean, Dave Allen. I mean, Lucas Brown is that shot to me there, where I think he could actually. Mike Tyson would just beat the shit out of him.
Who was it he was scheduled to fight? He was going to Vegas to fight somebody before the COVID lockdown.
Oh, Abdi Dataev
Oh,
or someone.
Dataev. Yeah, he would have got beaten.
Bro,
by
he
him
was
too.
gonna kill him, bro.
He was. He's gonna
Dataev,
right.
bro, that was a sadistic fight, man. I don't know who was putting on that fight, but whoever it is, they don't give a shit about Lucas Brown.
It's a top rank, I think. It's Abdi Dataev's. Oh no, he's what's that Canadian outfit? He's up the top there, isn't he? With McNaught
Oh.
and
Jim,
that.
Group Yvonne Michelle or
That's it.
whatever. I don't know.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yvonne Michelle. I think he's with him. So, interesting that it was in Vegas. I thought they might have tried to put that in Canada if they didn't have a American in it. But,
Yeah.
it's gone now anyway. And yeah, apparently they're
Brown.
talking about Lucas Brown for Joseph Parker.
Fuck no.
Give him the same thing that Lucas Brown said when Joe was on the way up. Piss off. Go and do the work, mate.
Joe Winner won a world title and didn't lose to fucking Dave Allen.
Yeah. Haha.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, man. We've been on for a while, so is there any last words before we go, mate?
Yeah, it's good talking to you again, Jono. Glad the channel's back. Shout out to everyone in the chat. You know, hopefully we get some boxing soon, and hopefully it's some heavyweight boxing, man.
Yeah, we need some shit to talk about. It's not a bad thing to do, reviewing a lot of old classic fights, and there's a lot of fights that I've seen that I hadn't seen in the past as well. They've been great, but I'm itching for some live
sure,
stuff,
man.
man. I'm itching.
Same, bro. Because I want to see a fight where I don't know the outcome, you know, and I can't just look it up or
Yeah,
something like that, you know.
for sure.
Anyway, thank you so much for having me on. You have a great day, man.
You too, my pleasure. Take it easy, brother. And that is about us for today. Big thank you to everybody in the chat for turning up. Ryden Smith, Marla2243, Whoa, where'd that go? Disappeared. Sporting Advantage, good to have you in, man. We had Raphael Dawkins, Combat Radio, also in the house. Phil Carl Roberts, Ryden Smith, all you regulars in here supporting the channel. I do appreciate y'all. And it's time to start pumping out some content again now that I've got time. Hopefully I'm going to find some shit to talk about though. So stay tuned to the channel and enjoy. It's been a pleasure talking to y'all. And that is me for today. And I'll catch you next time. So that's it for today. Appreciate y'all coming and checking out the Big Boys Boxing content. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Also, if you want to get more involved, you can go to the Big Boys Boxing channel page, and over here on the top right there's this Discord icon here. If you click on that, it will take you to the Big Boys Boxing Discord server. This is it here, and these are the text channels here. The info is all about the channel and how to get involved. General chat, we all just talk about boxing, any subject, everybody's welcome. Live fight links, I drop links here that will take you to live fight events. I generally drop the link here 24 hours before the fight, so if you don't have a broadcast, you can come here and find a way to watch it. Also, fights that I do record, I will be posting here. I've got a couple here already, as you can see. And down here, the voice channels, live panel. If you'd like to get involved with the live YouTube streams, the panel is on here. Once you get here, you just click on live panel, and as you can see, you're in. If you'd like to mute at any point, there's a little mic icon here. Click on that and you are muted. And if you'd like to leave the call, this is your hang up button. Simple as. And down here, this is anytime chat. It's another voice channel. You can get on here and talk with anybody who's in there about whatever you want to talk about. It's free for all. So get involved. I'm Jono from Big Boys Boxing, and I will catch you next time. See you.